What's going on, friends? Logan Myers back here for 31 Days of Horror. We're going to go a little old school tonight. We're going to talk about 1941's The Wolfman, directed by George Waggner. I've talked about a few werewolf movies throughout the 31 Days of Horror. I'm a big fan of werewolves. There's some really great ones and some really shitty ones. But tonight, we're going old school to one of the originals, one of my favorites, The Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr. Lon Chaney Jr. is the son of the famous silent actor Lon Chaney. You guys may know his work from The Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, the list goes on. He was really great with makeup work and transforming into these characters. Fast forward to the Wolfman, his son's playing the werewolf, and he's going under the prosthetic makeup to transform into this creature. In the film, Larry Talbot, played by Lon Chaney Jr., he travels back to Wales, his homeland, after his brother passes away. When he's back in Wales, he meets a young woman, and they go for a walk to a small gypsy village where they get their fortune told. And that's when all hell breaks loose. One of the townspeople gets attacked by a werewolf, and it's kind of funny because in this film, Bela Lugosi plays a werewolf in the beginning part of the movie that transforms Larry Talbot into the Wolfman. So it's cool they threw Bela Lugosi in, not as Dracula, but as a werewolf. So Larry's able to fight off the werewolf, but he gets bit, and then, as we all know, it turns into the werewolf and the Wolfman in the next full moon. And this film is only an hour and 10 minutes long. It's pretty short. They get right to the point, right from the get-go. So it's not a movie that drags along with a whole bunch of unneeded dialogue and character development that doesn't go anywhere. They get right to the point, with Larry getting bit and turning into the werewolf, and sets up the rest of the film, with the great landscapes in this film and the forest scenes, into the small village, and not to mention everything's in black and white, so it gives it that, eerie, dreadful feeling. And this is some great work by Lon Chaney Jr. playing this character, from Larry Talbot into the Wolfman, because he's transforming two different characters, and one's being a brutal killer. When he turns into the wolf, he does a great job. He actually looks like a wolf, the way he walks and the way he creeps. And a lot of great prosthetic work as well. In the dark forest scenes, he's pretty scary, and you see him hiding behind a tree, getting ready to hop out and kill somebody. And the prosthetic work in this film is legendary. In the early days of Hollywood, they didn't have a lot to work with. Today it's all computer CGI work, but that, back then they had many hours of, work under getting the prosthetics on their face, and sitting there for 8 hours, shooting all day and going back to take it all off again. So there's a lot of work with the artist, putting together this prosthetic for Lon Chaney Jr. This is the last solo monster film in the Universal Monster universe. After this, they had Wolfman Meets Frankenstein, where the other films, there's more than just one monster. Overall, I love The Wolfman. It's still one of my favorite films of the monster universe, next to Frankenstein. In terms of Lon Chaney Jr., he was excellent in this film, playing, Larry Talbot and transforming into the werewolf and the Wolfman. And like I said, the prosthetic work in this movie is top-notch and legendary. And overall, I'm going to give The Wolfman from 1941, just a few years ago, I'm going to give The Wolfman a 3.5 out of 5 hail pieces. What do you guys think? Are you guys fans of the classic Universal Monster universe? Who's your favorite character? Do you like the Wolfman? Do you like Frankenstein, Dracula? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myers signing out from the abandoned woods. Did you hear that? Until next time. Cheese!